Hello, and welcome to Leadership as a Philosophy, Not a Checklist, The Problem Revisited. As before, we're going to get right into it. So, here's the problem with leadership. We all have in our mind what the leadership ideal is. We have the archetypical leadership model in our head. Well, here's the problem about what happens in execution. Okay? So, you see this distribution that I'm doing. We've got the ideal, and then as you watch the slide build, we've got people that are close to the ideal, but never above it, and then we've got people that are below it. So what does that mean? That means that the average of what we have in our different organizations is below the leadership ideal. Why is that? We've got $50 billion spent a year on leadership and management coaching. We've got hundreds or if not thousands of MBA programs and leadership development seminars and all this sort of stuff. And this is the best that we can do. This is what's even more annoying about the problem. We know the repercussions, right? Here's characteristics of an organization. How's your retention? How's the morale? What's the culture? What's the purpose? How productive is everybody? How much are people being developed? And how trustworthy are people, or how much do they trust their leadership? Well, if you've got good leadership, those are positive. If you've got bad leadership, they're negative. So you can sit there right now and look if your organization has good leadership or not based off of those requirements or off of those characteristics. So then here's the question, right? The question is, who in your life that you have worked for would you voluntarily follow somewhere just because they asked you? Because that's the leader. So most people that I've asked this question to say 1, 2, 0, a lot of zeros. So what are we doing? What are we doing? This is the distribution that we get, and these are the characteristics that we get in an organization. It's terrible. It's terrible. So then the answer is either we're teaching the wrong stuff or we're developing the wrong people. I think it's both. We're not teaching leadership, we're just teaching numbers and systems, and we're not doing anything to identify those people that we would voluntarily follow. What are their characteristics? What is it about that person? What is it that they did? We got to analyze those actions, because my contention is that if we're able to do this so that we find people that are leaders and put them in charge and monitor them and make sure that they're doing a good job and make sure that they're living up to the ideal and all that sort of stuff, the distribution changes radically. So then you've got this sort of a wave or this sort of a distribution. Because you keep having a leader follow the other leader, then this is your average. Sorry, I'm going too fast. So now your average is increasing better leadership, which also means your attention stays high, your morale stays high, the culture stays high, all of these things stay that way. I believe it's possible because we have the archetype, the leadership archetype in the past has been written down and described for us over and over and over again. And around about World War II time, everybody got all excited and decided to make numbers and productivity the most important thing. Right? And then this is the other thing. The one thing, I should actually have changed it on here. The one other thing that happens is people's physical well-being and mental well-being and overall health and their family life is impacted by a good organization or a bad organization. So if we know these things, we all know it. Why do we settle for this? Why do we allow this to happen? This is the leadership problem. Because we think, oh, I've got my fill-in-the-blank certificate that says I'm certified to be in charge. And then they're terrible. I've got my XYZ that says I'm amazing. And so I'm amazing. And well, that's even worse, right? So what is it that makes these people followable? What is it that makes these people good or bad? We all know it. Just nobody sat down and thought about it. So that's the leadership problem. Now, linked to this, I've got to learn how to start doing this. Linked up here is going to be the case study that discusses this, so that you're able to see an example of what happens with good and bad leadership. as if you don't already know if you've tuned into this. All right, thank you so much. That's my 5 minutes.
Hmm.